Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Rendy Suharsono. NIM 190-2944. Here I will prepare my media for Geogebra. I will prepare the media consists of 3 activities. About limits of trigonometric function. Let's come to the first activity. Activity 1. Limits of trigonometric function by author Rendy Suharsono. Greetings. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Before we start our lesson today, let's pray to God. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Let me begin our class today. Welcome to our online class. Hello everyone. As usual, I'm Rendy Suharsono. You can call me Mr. Rendy. Is your lecturer for today's class. How are you all? If you are in not good condition, please tell me, okay? Today, in our class, we will learn about limits of trigonometric function. You can read the basic competence, learning activities, and using the learning material below in this class. Basic competence 3.1 Explain and determine function limit trigonometry. 4.1 Computing problem related with the function trigonometry. Indicator of achievement of competence. 3.1.1 Understanding graph of trigonometric function. 3.1.2 Understanding function limit through observing function graph. Here are main learning material. Motivation. In class 11, you have learned about limits of trigonometric function, while the material that we will discuss in this class is about the limit of trigonometric function. When you hear about the word trigonometry, you will definitely remember the discussion about trigonometry in class 10. So what do you think is correct? If the material this time is related to trigonometry in class 10 and limit algebraic function in class 11. If you forget later about those two things, you can reopen the math book for grades 10 and 11 and remember the two concepts that the math teacher taught in grade 10 and 11. If you don't understand well, don't worry. In this class, on the limit of trigonometric function, we will run slowly step by step in detail so that you can understand it more easily. A graph of trigonometric function. Let's start by remember about graph of function trigonometry. Sketch graph of trigonometric function y equal to function x pairs x, comma, function x are coordinates the point traversed by the graph of the function f. The coordinates of the 10 points are connected to form a smooth curve. Take a look at the graph below. Guide, use the slider in the graph and solve some question below. You can zoom in and out when using the graph. You can click the recycle button icon at the top of the graph to reset position of the graph. Graph for function x equal to sin x plus alpha plus b. Use the slider. Graph for function x equal to I cos x plus alpha plus beta plus b. Use the slider. Last is graph for function x equal to I tan x plus alpha plus b. Use the slider. Let's use the graph above to answer some of the question below. Question 1. Explain the effect of the value of A on the graph. Question 2. Explain the effect of the value of alpha on the graph. Question 3. Explain the effect of the value of b on the graph. B. Understanding function limit or observing function graph. This is how to write from limit to value of function x can be made as close as possible to L if x is close enough with R, A, but x is not equal to A. To help you understand the concept of limit, focus on the graph below. Take a look at the graph below. Guide, you can drag the point along the graph. You can zoom in and out when using the graph. You can click the reset icon at the top of the graph to reset the position of the graph. Here, you can move the point along the graph and reset. Now, let's try to solve some question below. Problem 1, based on your observation of the graph, the breadth curve were represented as. The answer is, based on your observation of the graph, when green line intersect with the breadth curve, what does value it represent? L. Based on the observation of the graph, when the blue line intersects with the breadth curve, what does it represent? I. Problem 4. Remember that the value of function x can be made as possible to L. X is close enough with A, but x is not equal to I. By using the graph, if you try to make x is close enough with 90, but x is not equal to 90 degrees, then the value of sin 2x over x is 0.045. Problem 5. Based on the answer to question 4, you can see that the value of function x will approach. Possible answer is 0. If you are concerned, you can round to the nearest number from answer in the question 4. Very good. Solve the problem above. Exercise. Let's try to solve some exercise below. You can drag the point along the graph to answer the exercise. Click the box and then type your answer. Your answer is correct if it says correct. Here, let's try one. You know, what if we do? It's correct. Next, question 2. Here's the graph and type 3. It's correct. Conclusion. Let's make conclusion based on our lesson today. Use your own explanation, okay? Conclusion 1. If I have a trigonometric function, what's the effect of the value a, b, and alpha? Conclusion 2. Can you repeat again about the limit value of function x? Closing. Dear student, thank you for your participation in this class. I hope you can understand our lesson material today. Then please prepare for the next lesson. We will try to understand about the limit trigonometry with approach, left limit, and right limit. I think that's all. We will close this lesson with Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. If you still have any question, please write here. I will try answer it in the next meeting. That's the activity 1. Let's come to the next activity. Activity 2. Activity 2, limits of trigonometric function. Greeting. Basic competence. Explain and determine function limit trigonometry and completing problem related with the limit function and trigonometry. Indicator of achievement of competence. Understanding function limit through observing function graph with left limit and right limit. Understanding the limit of trigonometric function through intuitive calculation. Here our learning material, motivation. Let's continue our lesson today. Let's activity we are learning about As activity, you are learning about graph for trigonometric function and understanding about limit of observation function graph. Today, we will try to understand the limit function to observation function graph of the left limit and right limit. Understanding function limit of observation function graph of the left limit and right limit. If x approaches a from the left, if it result function x approaches L, the limit is called left limit. Then we write as limit x cosine a negative function x equal to L1. If x approaches a from the right, it results in function x approach L. The limit is called right limit. Then we will ask limit x cosine to a plus function x equal to L2. The relationship between the limit with the left limit and right limit. If the left limit and the right limit is equal, then limit x cosine to a function x is equal to AL. Then, and if limit left is not equal to limit right, then limit function x cosine to a, there is not any value. To help you understand, let's pay attention to the graph below. Take a look at the graph below. Guide, you can drag the point along the graph. You can click the direction icon at the top right to reset the position of the graph. Here, command use the graph above to solve some problem below. Based on the graph, can you find the value of the right limit? If no, say the reason, and if yes, write your answer. The possible answer is L1 is equal to 1,999. Problem 2, based on the graph, you can find the value of the limit. If no, say the reason. If yes, write your answer. The 2 is 1,999. Problem 3, if we try to connect the relationship between the limit with the left limit and right limit, then is the limit on the graph above has a limit value? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, because the value of the right limit and the left limit is same. Then the limit value of 2 sin x approach 90 is L equal to 2. Intuitive understanding limit of trigonometric function through calculation. Understanding the limit of trigonometric function at a point can also be understood by means of calculate the value of the function around the point under the consideration. For example, a function x will determine the limit value of the function x for x is close to a. Calculation can be done by making the list of the values of the function x or values of x close to a. Pay attention to the following question. Determine the limit value of the trigonometric function question below. Limit x goes into 0, sin x over x equal to blah blah blah. Solution. There are no algebraic tricks that will simplify the solution of this question. Of course, we can cross out the x. The calculator will help us get an idea of the limit. Use your calculator in the radian model to check the values of the table below. Try to fill this table to help you understand. Cool. If you fill blank in the table above. After you fill in the blank in the table above, based on your table conclusion, the conclusion of time is the value of the limit sin x close to 0 is 1. Conclusion. Let's make conclusion based on our lesson today. Use our explanation, okay? Based on the relationship between the limit with the left limit and the right limit, when a function has a limit, explain with your own word. Question 2. Can you explain how to understanding limit of trigonometric function based on intuitive understanding with the question? Explain with your own word. Closing. Dear student, thank you for your participation in this class. I hope you understand our lesson material today. Then please prepare for the next lesson. We will try to understand about the limit trigonometry. I think that's all. We'll close this lesson. Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. If you still have a question, please write here and I will try answer it in the next meeting. That is activity 2. Let's come to the activity 3. Activity 3, limits of trigonometric function. The first one is greeting. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Our condition. Next is basic competence. So it's still the same. And next is learning activities. Solving limit of trigonometric function using direct substitution. Solving limit of trigonometric function using basic formula of limit trigonometric function. Solving limit of trigonometric function using direct substitution. Here are main learning material. Listen. In class 10, comparison mathematics, you have learned about definition of the limit algebraic function, namely that the limit of the function is said to be close to a function x, a as a limit. When x approaches the limit is denoted function x equal to L. As a prerequisite material for discussion the limit of the trigonometric function, besides you must memorize the value of the special angle for sin, cos, and tan, and vice versa. You must also memorize the trigonometric formula. So my open a book or notes for class 10 about trigonometric formula and class 11 about limiting the algebraic function. Here, trigonometric table will help you. Here, trigonometric function identities to help you. The first one is method of direct substitution. To calculate the value of the trigonometric limit, it can be done by directly substituting the intended x value. The application of direct substitution method in the determinant or solving the limit of trigonometric function is very easy by directly replacing x with the number listed in the problem. Or consider the following example question. Here, use the substitution method to determine the limit value following the trigonometric function. In the example, next, let's try solve other problem. Here, question 1. The solution is, we can check, basic formula of the limit of trigonometric function. In this discussion of the limit of trigonometric function, it can be solved using the basic formula, the limit of the trigonometric function below. The basic formula, and here the example. Great, you read all the basic formula of the limit trigonometric function. Now let's use the formula to solve some question below. Good job. Question 1. Question 2. Next is factoring method. For the factoring method, the concept is exactly the same as factoring method in limiting algebraic function that you learned in the class 11. The factoring method is done by when you find the answer with the intermediate form, or which means that here you have to do the factoring. The trick of the factoring method is that you have to get rid of the zero generator in the function. For example, consider the problem below. Here the example. Now let's try to solve the other problem. Question 1. Next, question 2. X is simplifying trigonometric function. To be able to work in the limit probability trigonometric function like this, it requires you to reopen material about trigonometric formulas. You can use file about the trigonometric identities that I give to help you to simplify the trigonometric function. Here, the step. Okay, let's try to solve the other problem. That's it. Conclusion. Write a conclusion from today's lesson. At least explain each way to solve the limit of trigonometric function in your own language. The closing. Dear student, that's all for today. Thank you for your participation in this online class. I hope you can understand the material because this session by Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Your video task will help you more understand. If you still have any question, just write here and I will try to answer it in the next meeting. That's it. It's my media using the geometry, using Geogebra. I think that's all. And thank you for your attention and sorry for the inconvenience. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.